And on to trade ties. After joining the League of Petroleum Countries, Kenya now seeks to partner with Australia to bolster the mining sector in the country. A host of Kenyan delegates, including Cabinet Secretary for Mines and Petroleum John Muniz, on 2nd and 3rd September attended the 5th edition of the Africa Oil, Gas and Energy Conference in Perth, Australia, with an aim to woo Australian investors to invest in Kenya's mining sector. Alex Chamwada of Chums Media was in Perth and has the following report.
When Kenya joined the ranks of petroleum exporting countries on 26th August 2019, Perth City in Western Australia was preparing to host the 5th edition of Africa Oil, Gas and Energy Conference, where Kenya would feature prominently among African countries that offer great opportunities for ties with Australia in the mining sector. President Uhuru Kenyatta had just flagged off over 200,000 barrels of Kenya's first oil export from the port of Mombasa. But reaching full production potential, estimated at 100 barrels per day by the year 2024, will require investments in infrastructure, including drilling and pipelines. Well, this update couldn't have come at a better time, as Kenyans played a key role in the conference in Perth from the 2nd to the 3rd of September under the theme Connecting Australia with Opportunities in Africa.
I double the private and the government sector.
The founder of the conference is Stephen Kuria, a Kenyan mining consultant in Australia, who is the chairman of the Kenya-Australia Chamber of Commerce and also the managing director of Australia Africa Energy and Mineral Institute. At the same time, the current chairman of the Mineral Rights Board in Kenya.
Australia have been mining for 100 years. We are not even stepping up. We got one of the good assets in Kakamega, but yet we are also the last when it comes to the risk in the mining industry. We are actually worse than Zimbabwe. So you can ask yourself why. So there's a lot of work need to be done, and we have started by even putting some strategic plan on the ground. So we can't compare ourselves in Australia. Well, we still have to benchmark.
During the conference, Kenya sought to woo investors in Kenya's mining sector.
Kenya is endowed with the oil and gas blocks. We've discovered oil in Turkana, and there are many other blocks we want to give out so that people can discover oil. We have infrastructure that is coming, the construction of the pipeline. We have the jetty that is going to transport our white product to Uganda and therefore to the Greater Lakes region.
We are moving very fast to make sure that we reach what we call financial investment decisions so that we can be able to offer the full-scale production.
At the conference in Perth, there was also representation from Kenya's National Assembly Energy Committee as well as the Public Accounts Committee.
You can see in our country, we have been able to go to renewables, which is giving us almost 80% of the production of energy in the country now is through renewable. The latest being the injection of 310 megawatts of power, wind power from Turkana, but the cost remains high. So again, we are here also to understand how can we as a country be able to bring down the cost of power and be able to bring in a lot of investors who will go into now one of the big four agenda on industrialization.
There's a lot of goodwill by the Australian companies here that are intending to invest in Kenya. But a good environment must be created for them to come. So the minister spoke here and the government officials spoke here, and I hope it's not just speaking, they will put that into action.
The host minister at the conference was Bill Johnston, the minister in charge of mines and petroleum, West Australia.
If you want to have a long-term future in the energy sector, it's our view that it's important to provide a strong and stable regulatory framework so that the companies will invest for the long term. That way you don't get the sort of short-term thinking that sometimes comes with foreign investment. You can harness that long-term benefit so that the people of your country can get better, enjoy the wealth that comes out of